G'day guys, welcome back for another one. Today we're going to be reviewing this TC Boxes Canopy. I've run it for about 8.5, 9 months. So as long as I've had this vehicle, or 65,000 kilometers. So we'll do a run through and see what we reckon. She was $3,600 landed here in Alice Springs, 1775 wide, 1,000 long by 850 high, 3mm aluminium. So the color is a black ripple powder coat, which actually seems to be standing up to the scratches and stuff quite well. I mean, it is powder coating, so that stuff's pretty hardy. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with that so far. And some of you may know I actually fitted these guards only a couple of weeks ago from the same mob, TC Boxes, same color, black ripple powder coat. But yeah, like I said, they've only been on there for a few weeks. So I decided to go with these mob because, I mean, I was looking at canopies for a fair while, trying to figure out which, brand to go with. And there's a lot of canopies. I mean, I started looking at different brands and there was canopies like this size going for 8 to 10 grand. And they're nice, don't get me wrong, but there's just no way I was going to spend that sort of money. So I decided to look at some of the cheaper brands and, this being 3,600 delivered here is still a lot of money, but it's not so bad. Most of those expensive brands that I was looking at, I'd love to support them because they're actually made in Australia. I don't know if these are made in Australia or not. I don't think they are, but don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. So a lot of those other brands, yeah, they're Aussie made, they're expensive. So I would like to support them in that regard, but it's just a lot of money. So I found TC Boxes and they've got some pretty good reviews. I did my research, reading the specs on their website for these canopies. I was pretty happy with everything I saw. And I've been pretty happy with it so far. It's a pretty basic, solid, well-built canopy in my opinion. For the handles, they're running whale tail style, obviously lockable and adjustable on the inside here. When I was first running this canopy, she seemed pretty dust proof. I wasn't getting any dust in. And but then it started to sort of let a bit of dust in, and that's when I put this foam seal around the outside just to kind of help it and back it up. So these are adjustable, as you can see here. They can slide up and down on this bit of flat here, which when you close this and this closes against this lip down here, you can adjust the squeeze that it has on the door. So basically, I gave them a bit of a tweak a few months after having the canopy, and it hasn't let any more dust in. As you can see inside, it's very clean. Obviously, there's a little bit of dust, but most of that's from, I'm in and out of the canopy. I'm using the compressor to pump up tires. So yeah, she's been really good in that regard. Now, obviously being a black canopy, it's gonna be hot. And that was a big factor when I was thinking about what canopy I was going to buy and what color. Was the heat, especially being here in Central Australia for summer. I really wanted black, but I didn't want black because of that reason. Anyway, I ended up going with black and just thought that, I would insulate the canopy, which I've done. Seems to be working pretty well. I've actually got a video on that whole install. So I also painted the top of the canopy with heat reflective white paint, a couple of coats, and that's absolutely done wonders. So that combined with the insulation has just made all the difference. Going with a canopy of this size was important to me. I need tray space for everything to go in the back here. These two boxes, as most of you would know, are filled with lots of random tools and oils and coolant and power tools and all sorts of stuff. Both boxes are full for all the work I do out bush. And then, obviously I've got this bit of space here, but as you can see, jerry cans and the spare tire and pickets and wire and shovel and just random stuff for bush. So, and I do enjoy a ute being a ute. I like having that tray space. So a canopy of this size really was perfect. And using this ute for work as well as everything else. This is my everyday vehicle. It does absolutely everything. So you know, obviously having this system here to charge batteries for power tools and whatever, but also the fridge, the drawer, it's used for camping, it's used for everything. So I really needed a hybrid setup, and for me, this size canopy is absolutely perfect. Now, going along with that, as I touched on it before about dust ingress and that sort of thing, it's been really good. And obviously that's very important to me with what's in here, like relatively sensitive stuff like the fridge, this battery setup and inverter and all that kind of stuff. Everything's, you know, been pretty well protected. If you look up here, it's well built and it's well reinforced, as you'll see inside the canopy here as well. They got these pieces of SHS, which are probably 40 by 40 by maybe 2 mil or 2.5 or something like that, as an internal frame. And it's also got the same for underneath the floor. So it's all very strong. I haven't had any issues with, you know, all the welds and stuff look very good. They seem like good hot welds that have glued the steel together well, and there's been no cracking or anything that I can see so far. And I thought that it was a good time to do this review, considering I've done 65,000 Ks in 8 or 9 months with this canopy on the back, which most people might do that mileage in a few years. So I think it's, you know, a good sensible time to do a review on the canopy. Well, that about does that. Thanks very much for watching as always, and I'm gonna try and have the, well, it's supposed to be the 50,000 kilometer review up for this Land Cruiser, which it's now done nearly 70,000 kilometers, but I'm gonna try and have that up very, very soon for you.